Hi, my name is Ingrid from Veen. I'm an interior designer for hotels and restaurants. My background is actually a bit different in the way that I always been designing. It was for more like the television. I was an art director, creating sets, designing scenography for theater plays, museums, exhibitions, that kind of stuff. Then I had my own label for a couple of years designing products, and now I'm designing interiors, so it all combines all together. My style is really, really colorful. I use lots of color and patterns and symbols. That is actually the reason why I'm here in Kenya at the moment, looking into all these colors and patterns and being able to translate this into a really great hotel interior.
How did you start designing?
A project or?
No, generally.
Generally, yes. Yeah. I started designing, I was in art school, so doing architectural design, and basically went from there, so first doing all the television and film and movie kind of stuff, theater, and then I decided I wanted to do more like longer term projects, so that's why I decided to go into hospitality design.
What's your design aesthetics? I know, a difficult word. What's your design language? What are the colors? What are the patterns? What inspires you?
Yeah.
You're in Morocco recently, now you're in Kenya. You're from Europe, I guess Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yes? Fun fact. My grandfather was the first African airline inspector for KLM, and probably the only one. So when I grew up, we used to go at 11 in the night to go to the plane and find the captain. So there's that relationship.
Oh, wow.
And then also the small houses they give you from KLM.
Yeah,
I grew up with those, and people.
Oh, wow.
I grew up with having and we didn't know what they were. So when we grow up, people were like, oh, those are,
the Dutch houses. Oh, so, that's so great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my designs are really bold and colorful. So I love to travel because there's so much inspiration there. Recently I went to Morocco, where there's obviously lots and lots of, inspiration there. I do go to design kind of stuff and fairs, but that's not really where my inspiration lies. It's more into the heritage and the patterns and colors, and also, just looking on the street, what's going on in terms of shapes, really. Like fences is one of my things I love, looking at fences and how they are built and how they are shaped, which is really inspirational, I think.
Fences like the perimeter walls?
Well, like on the street, for gates, fences, stuff like that. It's really inspiring, I think, because
that's
it's
probably weird, but okay.
Yeah, it is weird. I know. I was at Curacao, and there's also all these colors, but then I get inspired by the weird stuff. Really, that's what I try to do. So I try to keep off social media a lot, because we get people call it inspiration. To me, it's just more copy pasting. So I think it's not so much. There's so much of the same in the world, and I really try to create a unique story, also for my clients. And that's also why I'm in Kenya at the moment. Looking into how I can elevate businesses here in a really unique way, rather than them also copy pasting each other, because that's what I see a lot.
It's funny, I called you weird, but I did a book called Road to Marsabit. It's the road to the north, just the road. And one thing that I noticed on that road is people will build these excellent gates. Just gates.
Oh, really?
There's no home. It's just a fantastic gate. And then when you talk about fences, I'm like, wow, okay, you should go to the north and just find out what that is. I never found out what it is, yeah? There's a marriage there, don't you think?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Where is that about?
So on the north of Kenya.
And that's it, that's just in the landscape.
Normally people will build houses first.
Exactly, yeah.
And then you build a
so
fence.
they build the gate, and then the house will come.
So now you find these people, they build this, like a whole gate, but nothing else been built so far.
Oh, really?
So they have a small house, but then a fantastic gate. And I wanted to know why, because even if you look at my book, there's some of those gates.
Really?
Yeah, like a stone gate, a huge gate, and I've always wanted to go back, but then COVID happened and
Yes. Interesting.
The stuff you're wearing in your hands. Can you tell us what that is and what's the inspiration?
Okay. This ring I got in Morocco, in Marrakesh. love it because it's so big and bold, which is sort of like what I am in terms of boldness. And love all the colors. This is actually a necklace. It's like really long.
Yeah.
And I got it when I was in the Philippines. It was a birthday gift from my husband when we were there. It was locally found and made, which is, I think really great.
Yeah.
Well, this is also, I got it in Amsterdam, so it's just from Holland. And then the ring, this one I had for ages. I can't even remember. I've had it since 20 years and I'm always wearing it. So.
Yeah. So these are articles that means thing to you.
Yeah.
And this is what you collect instead of being on social media and being inspired. So this is the kind of stuff that inspires you. What else inspires you?
Well, in my work, I always look at the location of where I will. If I design a new hotel, I look at where is it at, what is the story. I'm always trying to find stories there, so which is like being a designer for films and television, I had to translate a script. And now what I do in my designs, I'm translating the script of the location, of the hotel, of the people who own the hotel. It depends on the kind of project. So it can be the location, really. I just did a restaurant which had a beautiful ceiling. It was all painted like long time ago. It's a monument in the Netherlands, and the rest was all white. So basically what I did, I took all the colors and patterns and brought it down in the whole new restaurant. Designed rugs, designed sort of space dividers. Everything was based on those on the ceiling, really. So using colors and patterns. So that's an inspiration there. It can be anything really, but I try to tell a story. So the location or my client also has a story to tell for their clients again.
Yeah. So you went to art school, but then you became a television and film set designer.
Yeah.
And now you design for hotels, yeah?
Yeah.
One question I'd ask is, you find that people who want to move from one career to another, and they'll give whatever challenge or excuse, I call them excuse, but for them it's a challenge, yeah? I'm settled in this. I want to do that, but how do you move so fluidly within those boundaries? I know somebody may say it's still art, but it's different industries.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, even though I'm still a designer, and you see it really correctly, they are different industries. Like first, my clients were a television producers, like companies. Now my clients are hotels and restaurants or operators or stuff like that. So it is challenging in a way, looking at opportunities. But I'm the kind of person that just jumps in, I think, and you can always see the problems, but I rather see the opportunities and see, look at my strength and what I can bring to somebody, whether it's a television production or a hotel, really. I mean, for me, people always want to put people in their box, I understand you fit in this kind of box. Whereas I'm like, I don't even own a box. Why should I be in a box? When I was in television, I was also doing a lot of other projects, art projects and exhibitions for museums. And people, when I was in the film industry, they would ask me like, so what's your next project? What are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm going to this art project. And they're like, what? Why? I didn't fit in their box, just being a set designer. Yeah. So I just basically do my thing, really. And when you're a designer or an artist, you just do and attract the people, I think, that resonate with you rather than so I try to see it also from a point of view more as an artist, like the way I work is this is what I do. If you're attracted to it, let's talk. Yeah. And I don't mean it in a way that I'm how do you say that? I don't know the English.
Say it in Dutch.
It's more about I don't want to be arrogant. In a way that, I'm this kind of person. It's just that I really want to be close to my roots and what I love to do. Because I think doing that, I can help the best other people, rather than, of course, I listen to the client, obviously you have a relationship like that. But usually the clients who come to me, they resonate with my work because it's, what I do. They like it, like you like an artist, you want to buy a painting because you love the work they make. That's more the way I have my business, basically.
You bring a good point. I don't know if we have time, but the question you're answering and asking at the same time, what is the job of an artist in a project, in a client's work? as an artist, you have to bring yourself into the project, but also you have to not compromise, but be open enough to the idea.
Exactly.
So would you say when you do a project, you walk in there and they have a vision, and then you bring your art into it?
Yeah.
Or how
Yeah, no, I can tell you about it. To me, I listen carefully to what they are looking for. Firstly, you try to listen, or you do listen, but then I think my job as a designer is also to give them visions they haven't seen yet. So if I would translate 100% what they're asking me to do, it's sort of like a one-on-one translation, but I think I can give more than that. I want to bring more to the table and surprise them. Like, we could also do this kind of thing. Like, I have had many projects, and they're like, well, we want a bar here, and I'm like, but why? First try to find out the why, because it might be a really good idea, but then if they are telling me why, there might be other options as well. So this is just an example, but I always try to really surprise the clients and help them in a way further that they're like, wow. And usually they say, like, we could have never done this alone. We never thought of all the ideas that you gave us. And I think that's where the magic sort of happens, for both. So I get to do my job, and they get to receive something there that works for them. In a way that's better maybe than they ever imagined. Yeah.
I think so. Your highest moment in life and your lowest moment?
Oh.
Anything you're open to talk about, obviously.
Yeah, no. I'm a quite stable person, not like huge highs and huge lows, I think. What really transformed me, I think, was when I was 16. I went to the United States as an exchange student. So I think that when I look back now, being 48, I look back.
You look young for 48.
Well, thank you. Well, you look young too. No, but I think that transformed me in the way that, you're at a young age. I was 16, going by myself to the United States. I was in Las Vegas, crazy city. You're sort of getting at a young age used to doing things maybe differently, or open to what comes on your path. Yeah. So that really helped me. Being able to, I go here by myself to Kenya. For me, it's like, and many other women, luckily, they just do things like that. But sometimes I tell it, and they're like, oh, you're going to Kenya. First, like, wow. And then, with who are you going? I'm going by myself. And then they don't understand. And I'm like, why not? Just do it and face your own challenges. It's just do it, really. Yeah. So that really helped me forward. And low, oh wow, I don't even know. Maybe it still has to come. Well, we lost relatives, which was of course very hard. My sister-in-law passed away when she was only 45, leaving young children. So those are hard moments in life. And in the other way, it also, and we've lost two young people in my family with cancer. But it also strengthens me now, in a way that you're just do and live your life. And I'm always a person to really have my own. I want to be the director of my own life instead of it happening to me. Yeah. So that's what even with the losses we've had, that has become so much strength in me to really have my own focus and with my husband and the kids, how do we pivot in life, and what decisions do we make in order to get there, to really take the steps in life to get to the point where you actually want to be, rather than, obviously this is my life.
Mm-hmm. So moving forward, what are you looking forward to? And then also, you went to Las Vegas when you were 16, yeah? If you are to have a conversation with your 16-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself? Because for me personally, I would say, relax, chill. Yeah. Life is not going anywhere. Because I was an alcoholic. So what do you tell?
Right. Yeah, I see. No, when I would meet my younger self, I would say really go with the flow and stop worrying, really. And actually, I still should tell it myself. Even 48, I'm always like wanting to do things, and I actually with meditation, I went into meeting my future self. So that was really interesting. And it was
What
the
is
same
that?
message.
Sorry.
Oh, well, you do a meditation and you get to meet your future self. So basically, it's your inner self, your higher self, and you can ask yourself, basically connecting with yourself. And because you meet the person in the future, it's really special because you get to ask her me basically questions. She was telling me relax. So basically, what I would tell my younger self, I'm still telling myself today.
Okay. Anything you think we left out that you want to talk about?
Well, I think it's very important to be authentic, and I add great value to that. And that's I see a lot of businesses, people sort of doing things because of financial reasons, also the hotels, and they're like scared, and it all comes from a mindset of scarcity rather than being happy, intentional, abundant. So it's really, I try to give that vibe to the world, really, to myself in my own life, even though it's challenging sometimes. I would love to be the world a more abundant place and people to be more with sharing love and abundance. It sounds a bit cheesy, but I think that is where growth is in the world and in between people. And instead of, every anxiety comes from scarcity. I see it in the businesses I work with. They're afraid if we do a really abundant hotel style, like my style, bold and colorful, we will miss out on customers. But it doesn't work
bold.
that way.
People like bold. People are tired of boring.
Yeah, well, I always compare it to. I always try to create a personality for my for the projects I work with. So we're sort of creating a personality, knowing which choices we have to make in this. And then the limiting beliefs come up from my clients, all these limiting beliefs. And I'm telling them, well, look at what we can learn really from film and television in terms of pop stars. And if you look at Madonna or David Bowie or, people that were really, sort of different, weird, whatever you want to call them, people love it. It's not like, okay, they were different, we're not going to like them. Look at how popular they are. So I'm you can translate it also in terms of design, and maybe it doesn't have to be that weird, but even then, I think it really attracts people, and people are. You have something to tell, really, and people will write about it. I mean, that's what I notice with my work.